Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's restaurant networking group. Today is March 13th. It is 9 a.m. My name is Howard Appel. I'm the founder and publisher of Today's Restaurant. We are a group of vendors who are here to help each other grow our business and also to help any restaurant owner, manager, or chef if they have an issue or a problem that they need to get resolved and they need help on. So we invite you to give us a call if you'd like to join us as a member of the group or submit a question. Give us a call at 561-620-8888 or go to our website at trnusa.com. Good morning, everybody. I thought you'll all be out doing spring break. I figured you'll be on the beach. But some of us are.
It's 35 degrees here in Alabama. No beach for us.
I'm not going to get into that. Never mind. I'll edit that out. I want to introduce Noah. Noah's here from the 11 o'clock group, and I'm going to let him tell you what he does, and I think you'll be equally impressed as we are at 11 o'clock. So good morning, Noah.
Good morning, Howard, and thank you for the introduction, and of course, thank you for allowing me to be a part of this group and for featuring me in one of your blogs. So, a little bit about me is I'm an 18-year-old high school kid from Atlanta. I'm still a senior in high school, actually, and I'm the founder of XShift AI, an employee shift scheduling platform. I founded this because I grew up working in the restaurant industry a lot and also the lifeguard and retail industry, and I noticed one very single problem in the industry was employee schedule. Even with existing tools on the market like 7 Shifts, Homebase, and Sling, they really just organize the problem. What I mean by that is they just give you a dashboard where they say, okay, here's the employees, here's the availability, create the schedule manually. And this is still very time consuming for managers. And what I noticed is that their restaurant industry especially has very high turnover rates. And that's very much partly because of managers quitting, and it's not because they necessarily hate their job, it's because they hate their second job on top of their job. That job is building schedules 6 to 8 hours on Sunday night, their day off, where they have to factor in employee availability. They have to remember if they have like 50 employees, okay, Johnny can't work Tuesday 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. because he has school. Samantha can't work 6 to 7 p.m. Tuesday and Thursday because she has soccer practice. Ava's approaching overtime. Lucila has very low reliability. Ava is currently sick. They have to remember all these certain constraints when building the employee schedules, and this can take 6 to 8 hours a week. And then when a manager burns out because of these constraints, what happens is not only do they have to spend what people estimate is about $10,000 for hiring, meaning boosting the post on LinkedIn, going through the interviews, training them, service goes down. As you guys know, when a manager quits who's been in the restaurant for about 1 to 2 years, when another manager comes back, the service slows down. What that means by that is like wait times go up, which reduces customer retention. Let's say I'm Longhorn Steakhouse. I do $500,000 in sales. If I lose just 10% of my customers because my wait times go up, that is 50 grand right there. And let's say another 10% lead to negative reviews. And that can be potentially even more catastrophic at potentially $100,000 a month. And so what I notice is manager burnout is a huge pain point in the industry and one that no scheduling tool really addressed. So what I built is for an industry first technology where for the first time in employee scheduling, you can run scheduling just by talking to an AI. What I mean by this is I can say, generate this week's schedule, and it can generate the schedule in seconds, all validating overtime requirements, employee availability, employee reliability, employee preferences, and employee PTO, and get the schedule done in seconds across hundreds of employees and multiple locations, saving managers about 6 to 8 hours a week, where it would take them to do the constraints manually, constantly going through these overly complicated other softwares, clicking around and saying, okay, Ava can't work Tuesday, Wednesday, creating one shift at a time, then going back and saying, oh wait, Ava's not a chef, I can't assign her there, and they have to remember all these certain constraints. Where in my system, you just configure everything once, and you can just run scheduling just by talking to an AI. You can send in-app messages after you create the shifts. You can say, okay, message all employees that their shift slide. You can send company announcements. You can, let's say you really like the schedule. I can say, okay, let me save March 1st to March 28th as a template and roll it over to April 1st, April 28th. It'll roll it over in seconds. You can even just pre-assign employees. Like say, okay, let's say assign Ava and Johnny every Tuesday and Wednesday, repeating every week for 20 days from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at location main store. And we'll do it in seconds. This is something that, while is very simple, is something that no other platform's been able to do because they're still built on these older architectures and running employee scheduling like it's 2015 instead of 2026. And some things about articles is we've, of course, been featured in today's restaurant news. We've been featured in the Modern Restaurant Management, the Restaurant Business Online, Tech Times, Hypothemus, and we're actually scheduled to go on CBS Atlanta as well. We've also been nominated for the Tech Up Startup Battlefield, which is rewarded to some of the most disruptive startups in the world. And another thing is, I'm sure you guys know what like 7shifts, Homebase, and Sling. I have recently caught some of them, including the CEO of one of those companies. I can't reveal the name due to legal and privacy reasons on my platform, which I had to kick off. So we definitely disrupted enough where some of these companies, some of which are almost valued at $1 billion, have actually felt the need to come onto our platform and see what we're up to. And while we're definitely nowhere near as big as any of them, we've taken a lot more people from them than we've lost. So that's a little bit about me and about my system. Do y'all have any questions?
Yeah. Did you say you're a senior in high school?
Yeah, I'm a senior in high school. That's correct.
And and you've been in the restaurant industry. So what made you come up with this idea to create a scheduling system when, not to play devil's advocate, but I've been in retail, before I went into the insurance industry for 30 plus years. How is AI going to fix the issues if Johnny and Lucy and Susie all call out sick on the same day and you lose 3 people worth of coverage?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So we also have a mode called manager sleep mode, where for the first time in the industry, when somebody calls out, this is separate from the AI Copilot. The manager sleep mode is like where a manager will say, okay, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., I can't work because not 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Well, it's a good better time. We'll just say 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. where they're sleeping. If somebody calls out, and this has never happened before in any software, if somebody calls out, they can automatically reassign an employee. Meaning, like, for example, somebody calls out, they can say, okay, this employee is a week out, we're going to automatically reassign them. If an employee calls out and it's maybe a day before, depending on what the manager does, it can send in-app messages. Of course, we're only on the web app, where the employees just have to go in and hit accept, and then it will automatically give them the shift. And that's something that also you can set other custom requirements, like, for example, time off request. If a time off request happens at a certain time, it meets certain requirements, you can approve it or deny it, or you can flag it for the managers to review. You can maybe approve it or deny it and just wait for the manager to confirm. So it's very flexible in that. And that's something that's pretty cool and something that prevents managers from having to be on standby at 10 p.m. when they're supposed to be off.
Interesting.
I have a question. Well, 2 questions. First, can you work with like high-end restaurants, or is that past your bedtime?
We've on.
Kidding. I'm kidding. Okay. I just observation. My 14-year-old works at Bags Groceries at Publix, and they obviously have a very high-end system on all this stuff. They do have an overlay because what I've observed is, if he can blow off work, he's going to do it. If it's just pushing a button, he's never going to work. So you actually have to double up and actually present your case or something to whoever's on the desk. Do you have the ability to kind of have a process in place where you can't just keep hitting, I'm not working today. You actually have to have some sort of accountability.
Yeah, so there's 2 different shift tray modes when somebody drops out. Anybody can drop a shift at any time, but it stays your shift until somebody picks it up. So it will never go. And there's 2 different modes. There's auto approve, which is where very small organizations will use. When one employee drops a shift, another employee can pick it up depending on anything. And only organizations use that who don't have roles and only have one location. And then there's smart approval mode, which I would say is the most common, where if an employee drops a shift, only another chef can pick up another chef's shift, obviously assigned at that location. So for our multi-location organizations, you have to have the same role and be assigned to the same location to pick up the shift. Then there's manager approval mode, which is where an employee can drop a shift, and then if another employee wants to pick it up, they can attempt to pick it up, and they'll send a request into the manager dashboard where you'll either approve or deny the pickup, and then the shift will transfer over. So the shift only transfers over depending on the mode when somebody else picks it up or when the manager approves it. And in terms of another question we get a lot is availability. There's two different availability modes. There's employee controlled availability, which was designed to be less of a bottleneck for managers, which is where employees can just update their availability on their dashboard at any time. But obviously, there's also organizations who are like, okay, I hired Johnny and Ava because I'm thinking they can work weekend nights or Friday nights or whatever day is. I don't want them to be able to just flip that off at any time and not be able to come into work. So there's manager control availability, where managers can control the employee's availability on the employees tab and just update their availability whenever they want. And we still allow actually in this mode for employees to see their own availability and even request changes in their availability. The managers still have the ultimate say whether they want to approve that and can update the availability at any time.
Thank you.
What about it, Chris?
Yeah, Chris.
Come on, Chris.
Yeah. Well, Woody Allen said 80% of success is just showing up. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
You know, when I was a stock boy at Rich's Department Store, they had 3 levels of people: full-time, part-time, and contingency. And the way they worked it, it was, before the computer age, but still is very efficient. They had a whole list, probably 25 of us on contingency. And the secretary would just go through the list and say, we've had somebody call out. Can you come in? Yes or no? Can you come in? Yes or no? Boom, 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 boom. Now, obviously with automation, it would be more efficient. And I like the fact Noah mentioned there's a list of people on the available list. So if somebody is going to have to be off tomorrow, then it automatically kicks over to an available list. I think it's fantastic. That's great stuff, just, yeah. So,
I got to say something. I'm really impressed because, the generation that this gentleman comes from, you see nowadays is, what are you going to do for me? What are you going to do for me? It should be all free. And this kid wakes up one morning and sees a problem and says, I'm not going to let somebody else tell me how to do it. I'm going to do it. And I got to say, I'm impressed. I mean, for a senior in high school, who hasn't even graduated yet, but which high school in Atlanta do you go to? I'm curious.
I go to Pope High.
You go to Pope. Oh, so you're out in Cobb County.
Yeah. Are you in Atlanta?
I grew up in Stone Mountain. So you're not that far from Lassiter then, are you?
No, I'm not that far at all. I used to play soccer out in Lilburn, so I know where Stone Mountain is.
Oh, guys, no. Okay, wow. See, this is my friend, you need to be the spokesperson of your generation. Mm-hmm. I've got a 45-year-old sister-in-law who posted on Facebook this morning, says that life should never be this hard ever. Okay. And my friend, you realize that roses die and you have to replant them. Mm-hmm. Kudos. Man.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And the fact that he's going to be on TV, on the news, be interviewed, that's insane.
When is this going to happen, Noah?
I have no clue. So the main part of the story is also I got injured. I played MLS Next Soccer. I don't know if you know because you're in Stone. Do you know what? I'm assuming you know what like GSA is. Do you know what KSA is by chance? Belongs Soccer Academy. Mm-hmm. You do know?
I think Brian does know.
Brian, you know what KSA is?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, so it's they have teams and the practices are in Lawrenceville, Lilburn, and sometimes it was in Clarkston. We got most of our players from Clarkston, but they would switch between Lilburn and Lawrenceville for practices. But so the main thing was I got injured, and that's how I got into AI, and that's the thing that the CBS reporter found really interesting. So they have to interview one of my teachers. So they're asking permission from the Cobb County School District. They want to interview one of my teachers and talk about me. So whenever the timeline is on that, I don't exactly know. I just know that they've emailed Cobb County asking permission to interview me. To go to Pope, I think.
Word of advice: be careful. You're going to be accused of being a white supremacist because you play soccer and you're doing all this other stuff. You're going to be accused.
Yep.
Hey,
He's
Chris,
ready. Nobody's getting by him. He's ready.
hey, Chris, I don't know if it's worth it.
How was your high school? Is your high school somehow ahead of the curve of other high schools in the state or in the country? How are you perceived at your school?
Academically, I'm about average. I'm not like crazy. I'm not like some super studious student, but Pope is, I consider, one of the top public schools in the state. We're not the top, but we're up there, say, for academics. For football, we're very bottom.
Howard,
When I was in high school, a kid like him, he got beat up all the time.
Hey,
Right.
Howard, I can tell you, growing up in Atlanta, if you lived in Cobb County, you went one of the nicest high schools in the area. I went to high school in DeKalb County. That was like East Atlanta, and that was just like looked down upon. But if you lived in Cobb County, no, I'm not trying to stereotype, but it's a wealthier neighborhoods, and affluent high schools are out there, and a lot of people like to move out there.
Hey, Rick, watch what you say. I grew up in Roswell. Okay.
Okay, so you're North Fulton County. Okay, I'm sorry. You could spit and either be in Cherokee or Cobb. Come on, give me a break.
Hey, Chris, I don't know if it's worth it for him to reach out to the Georgia Restaurant Association.
I actually already have.
Oh, you
I
got
emailed what's her, I forget her name. It was like Shakika or something. I don't remember her name.
There used to be Karen Bremer there, but I think she retired.
She responded, but the thing is, how many events do they have? So like the chapters, it seems like they only have 4 or 5 events a year. Is that true?
Okay.
So is that worth joining for like $750? Like I would join if it was like had like much more events. But like for 4 to 5 events, is that worth it?
Probably not. Probably not.
But she'll cut you a deal.
Yeah. It's what do you think, Chris?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's other associations out there that you could probably get involved in.
Yeah, I've been involved in the Georgia Hotel and Lodging Association. I've even reached out to actually some other restaurant associations that I have meetings upcoming with outside of Georgia and the other states.
How about Howard? What about Carl Moose Group? You know Carl? He knows a lot of people in the Georgia area.
Howard, that was addressed to you.
I'm sure that Carl would be interested because he's also connected to the GRA.
Yeah.
I've been debating a membership myself. I was a member at one time. I've on a pro bono basis, I recruited and found the CEO, Ron Wolf, who was with them for about 7 years and helped to resurrect that organization. Because the marketing problem with the organization before Ron Wolf got there was that it was known as the Georgia Hospitality and Travel Association, GHTA. And the problem with that name is does not have the word restaurant in it. So the restaurant people always felt like the redheaded stepchildren, just go over there and sit at the small table at Thanksgiving, leave us adults alone. And so that basically imploded because the Georgia Restaurant Council was started by when I got Ron Wolf there and a couple of other key executives from the industry, George McCarroll, who founded Longhorn Steakhouses and who was and still is CEO of Ted's Montana Grill, and Phil Hickey, who at that time was head of Rare Hospitality before they sold out to Darden. In any case, they helped to get people involved with the Georgia Restaurant Council, and then eventually the people who were left at the GHTA left the GHTA and came over to Georgia Restaurant Council. GHTA imploded, so Georgia Restaurant Council could grab the name Georgia Restaurant Association, and then they're off to the races, and got up to several thousand members under the direction of Ron Wolf. And then after 7 years, he retired. But anyway,
Who,
yeah.
who's the CEO now?
I'm sorry.
Who's the CEO or president now? You know?
No, they've just recently had a change. Karen Bremer was,
Yeah.
she was also involved in the development of the Georgia Restaurant Council, subsequently the Georgia Restaurant Association. But before this call is over, we will have the name of the head of the Georgia Restaurant Association. How's that? I'll put my best man on it.
Uh-oh.
His name is Chris Kaufman, the one and only.
The one.
There's another association you might want to look into because it's more geared towards food, but you can probably I can get you a contact on that. Georgia Grown, which is part of the Agriculture Department of Georgia, but it's designed to market brands out of Georgia, and it's called Georgia Grown. And there's several people that I've known over there, and I can get it to Howard, and he can get it to you. You want to reach
Yeah,
out?
I'd really appreciate that.
Yeah, but
No.
go ahead.
No, I was going to ask Noah. So you developed a system. So if I was a restaurant owner, I purchase it from you, and do I pay monthly, or is it a one-time fee?
Yeah. So it's monthly, but I mean, you can sign up. Like, I don't even have, what I like about it is it's scalable, meaning like I get people who sign up while I'm sleeping. You can just go on there, hit continue with Google, fill out one or two things. That's like the organization name if you want roles report, and it'll take you immediately as soon as you get onboarded to either set up a Calendly link with me for a demo. If you just deny that, it takes you to the onboarding mode of our AI Copilot. Very quick setup where the AI will get you started. It'll ask you questions like, "What's your first location?" Then it'll help you set up your employee names. Then it'll create a very easy time to first value where you can create shifts immediately. Then it'll teach you how to like create roles. It'll teach you to configure the settings. It'll show you how to like create recurring shifts, send messages, send announcements, and actually configure your system in under about 5 to 10 minutes. Of course, there'll be some other things you have to do, but it'll get through the settings. It'll get through the time of first value and that kind of thing. And I found that very important because a lot of softwares just drop somebody in there and then just say, go figure it out. So I definitely wanted the clean onboarding experience.
Hey, Noah, how many clients do you have as of right now, or are you still in the beginning phases, or?
In terms of restaurants, we have about a little under 20. We have more companies from other organizations. Of course, restaurants is our main primary target, but also we have some companies from the retail. We have a lot more users than 20 organizations in the restaurants, but we have about a little under over 20, I'd say.
Are you just
For restaurants?
are you only focusing in Georgia, or are your aspects to grow?
No. We have maybe a couple in Georgia. Most are in Georgia. They're spread out
Wow.
throughout the United States, mainly. But we only support time zones in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. So if I get people, our churn rate's very low. But if somebody signs up from Europe, odds are eventually they'll churn because we don't support their time zone. So it'll be 9 to 10 hours when they're creating shifts behind and nobody. So we're not set up yet for companies in Europe or elsewhere, only in our time zones.
But
we support multi-time zones.
But you hear that, folks? He's thinking. He's already processing how he's going to fix that problem so he can go worldwide. AI, folks,
Correct,
is going to take over the world. This is your Terminator right here.
Okay. The president of the Georgia Restaurant Association is Miss Stephanie Fisher, Fischer, Fischer. Telephone number for the Georgia Restaurant Association, 404-467-9000. 404-467-9000. And in New Jersey, call 404-467-9000. Operators, or at least this operator, will be standing by. Okay.
And Noah, how do we reach you?
Oh yeah, you can reach me through 678 898-1986, or my email, which is contact@xshift.ai. Or another really good way is just to add me on LinkedIn. If you just look up Noah Marbach and then add me on LinkedIn, it's a pretty good way.
All right. I think anybody else have any questions before we want to do our intro so that no one knows who we are? Brian, start us off.
Okay. Okay.
No
Thanks.
pressure there.
Thanks. Hey,
Only
thanks for
you and
joining us,
Brian.
Noah. It was very informative there. I'm Brian
you.
with a company called Rogue Financial Group. We are a commercial equipment financing company. I primarily work in the restaurant industry, bars, breweries, convenience stores. I was just at a convenience store show last week, was very good. But we do small, large projects all over the country. I work with dealers, the end users, help them obtain their financing. Again, it's commercial equipment financing. I can be reached at 404-723-7222. Thanks.
Michael, good morning. Michael Smith. You.
He's frozen. He's frozen.
Yeah. You know the feeling. All right, let's go to Eric. Good morning.
Morning, everybody. My name is Eric. Before I start talking, I just want to congratulations the young boy. It's very impressive, man. Very, very young age like this, already like have a mind. I'm gonna talk about myself. I
Thank you,
had this
Eric.
mind for an entrepreneur with it almost 30 years old, man. You have like not even 18 or 19. So congrats to you, man. That's
Thank
really
you, Eric.
impressive.
Appreciate it.
It's let's say again. My name is Eric. I work with the Green Payroll. Green Payroll was founded in 2013 with the simple goal, simplify payroll for companies and deliver reliable and personalized payroll. We based in Boca Raton. We work with restaurant business nationwide. Our system helps automate payroll. Sorry, my English. Process management, employment information, keep the business on track with the taxes filing and regulations. I'd love to connect you all. My phone number is 407-861-2994. My email is eric@greenpayroll.com. And our website is greenpayroll.com. Thank you.
I think you and Noah would be a good connection.
It is, yeah.
Michael, you with us?
Good morning. Can you hear me okay?
Mhm.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, Michael Smith. I'm with ERA Group, like your ear. We are a buyer for hire, a global company, 1,000 advisors in 60 countries, renegotiate everything on an OpEx stack for a business, typically middle market, but I'm focusing on restaurants. My niche or our niche for our restaurant group for this conversation is that 1 to 3, the established market, that 1 to 5, kind of right in there where they're getting screwed. The dirty little secret is Cisco is an $80 billion company because it puts all its clients in 2 buckets. One is the get it bucket. Those are the larger companies, some names we heard here earlier. And the other down here on sea level where we live are smaller food groups, restaurant owners who have the rep come in, sort of trust them, and slowly but surely they start creeping up those prices over time. It's one way they screw them. The second is they get a lot of rebates from, the mayonnaise supplier and the hot dog manufacturer, what have you. Our role is to sit down on our client side of the table, renegotiate those contracts from the broadline food service providers, and free up historically double-digit savings. If you can think of a hub and a spoke or a wheel, that's the core of our restaurant practice. And if you move out, there's different areas of OpEx that we can speak of as well, be it merchant card, IT, janitorial, waste, and things like that. So Michael Smith, ERA Group, 904 is my number, 710-6899. That's 710-6899. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Nicholas, good morning.
Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Nick DeSantis. I'm with Brown and Brown Insurance. We're a full service nationwide public insurance agency, fourth largest in the country. I specialize. A good lead for me is anybody in the hospitality industry, hotels. I just came across a really fantastic hotel program yesterday, and I did the insurance for a hotel down in Melbourne, Florida, right on 95, and just smoked it. Came in at about half the price, and I'm doing one in Vermont now, a Hampton Inn. So even though it's a one unit, I can do multiple units, hotels, restaurants. I like it to be, if it's a single unit, 50 employees or greater. Do a lot of restaurants. That's always been my forte since 2005. Prior to that, I owned restaurants, so I began insuring them. But we're a full service agency. We do everything. If you have personal lines, your homes, your autos, and all that, we have people in our company that handle everything. So it's a one stop shop. We do benefits, we do life policy, we do everything. But I personally handle commercial property and casualty, including work comp autos. So we start when a restaurant is building out, and we can continue to insure it over the years as they grow. So Nick DeSantis, Brown and Brown Insurance, 386-299-9540. Thank you.
Thank you. Chris, morning.
Hey, everybody. Chris Kaufman, Restaurant All-Stars. We provide restaurant talent, primarily career-oriented individuals, and to improve the human capital for these restaurant companies. And a lot of times we work with restaurant companies that are somewhat under the radar because people who are in the industry pretty much know Darden, they know Chili's, they know Marriott, etc. However, the people who utilize our services most effectively are those with maybe 3 to 5 restaurants or just one restaurant or whatever, and they don't have a huge human resources department. But even when they do, for example, Marriott has a very large human resources department, but they still utilize us from time to time to find the needle in the haystack, as they say. And we primarily work on behalf of these restaurant companies to bring talent to them. We constantly answer questions. A question came up yesterday. Do you think it's fair that only one company manufactures the board game Monopoly? And we have to answer only one company. Man, you figure it out. You be the judge. Chris Kaufman, restaurantallstars.com, 404 All-Star, 404-255-7827. And in New Jersey, call 404 All-Star. Have a great day.
Chris, if you're in New York City, Madonna will make sure that everybody can produce Monopoly games.
Go ahead, Ed. Tell us about your Monopoly.
No, Monopoly. When I was growing up, I used to call it Monopoly. Anyway, different story.
But then you turned 50 and realized, hey.
It was no longer Monopoly, it's Monopoly. Okay, so I'm doing good. By the way, Noah, congratulations. Well done so far. And what are you going to do with your soccer career now? Are you done playing soccer?
Oh yeah, I'm done. I've been done for about over a year and a half. So yeah.
I know the feeling.
What did you injure?
My ankle 4 times in a row.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Well, why don't you become a referee then?
Still needs to run.
Yeah, I'm not really a referee. I mean, I didn't really dig that, honestly. I saw how much those refs get yelled at.
Because you, as a referee, you don't want to deal with players like you.
Yeah, players like I wasn't as bad as some of my teammates. I had some people that were interesting with the refs, at least.
No, he's trying to recruit you. He's kind of.
No, I did a lot of refereeing. I was lucky enough to be an AR on some international games in Jacksonville, so I did relatively high games. So,
oh wow,
and we're always looking for recruits.
Jacksonville's a little ways away.
The last game I actually did was the U.S. men's national team versus the Israeli national team.
Oh wow! So you ref like professionally?
Yeah, I have done as an AR. I was not a center
That's it.
referee, but
Okay.
on international games, I was a AR. That was before
Wow.
they had full. That was before they had full-time ARs as FIFA, because
Wow.
the FIFA referees didn't want to run lines.
What's
So they
AR
would take
stand for?
what?
What does AR stand for?
Assistant referee.
Oh.
You're the idiots running on the sideline with the flags.
Like the description. I like the
You
description.
didn't even have to try out.
It was. I enjoyed it. It was nice.
You got a scholarship.
In Florida, believe it or not, if you're a referee, there are scholarships for high school seniors. If you're a referee, the Florida State referees give scholarships out.
Oh,
They don't have many. That's why they need a lot of referees. So
Wow.
See, now I'm old. I can't run, so all I do is try to help other people come better. Anyway, that's my career. Anyway, my name is Ed Gerton with Seacoast Sales in Orange Park, Florida, which is just outside of Jacksonville. We're a equipment supply company that specializes in frozen dessert equipment. So we have soft serve machines from Carpigiani. We have hard ice cream machines from Carpigiani and BGI. We have blast freezers, hardening cabinets, display cases from ISA and GTI Design. We have drink machines from V-Air. You can reach me at 904-334-4489 and have a great day. Thank you, Noah.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Rick, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Rick Israel with Lifeline Insurance Consultants here in Huntsville, Alabama. Downtown metropolis. We are a little bit bigger than Vidalia, Georgia. We just don't have the nice onions to go with it.
I know some phone booths. I know some phone booths that are hot. There are some phone booths around that are larger than Vidalia, Georgia.
I am our agency is an individual brokerage firm. We work with restaurant groups and individuals that are needing help with their group benefits, as far as medical, gap insurance, voluntary benefits, worksite benefits like dental, vision, long-term, short-term disability. We are, between the three of us in the office, there's about 45 years worth of experience. We work in Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, and Florida. I can be reached at 256-746-9581. And I am sporting a sweatshirt that I want to real quick give a quick shout out. You may be hearing a lot of stuff where individual brokers are not a good fit for companies, and they're going to larger companies to do their work. Brokers make a difference. That's the theme today, is brokers do make a difference. We are the one-stop shop where you can get everything done. Nick is in the industry as well, so he understands how brokers can help shop and save companies money. So I can be reached once again, 256-746-9581.
Okay. TRN Terry.
Hi, everyone. Great presentation again. I will always enjoy and learn a little bit more. Crazy that you're only
Thank
8.
you.
Holy cow. Anyways, we need more like you. What me and my team is provide leads of restaurants opening in the entire state here down in Florida monthly. And today it's with everything going on, people are, well, I emailed these guys and they're okay, but they're going with somebody they're not really sure if they like for ice machines or pest control or whatever it is. So a lot of the companies, the major companies that get these leads, like the FRLA, who get a lot of their members from our monthly leads, but people like in the food service companies, the big ones, Gordon, U.S. Foods, Cheney Brothers, people that get our leads monthly, the salespeople that pay for them themselves, they are taking advantage of the leads that we've had for the last 2 or 3 or 4 years back. I think we only go back 3, maybe 4 years. Now, granted, most of those, I would say maybe half are no longer in business, but the other half, when they email them, they're not happy with many of their services that they're getting. So, Ed, are you drawing a puzzle on my face?
Maybe. I'm trying to use artificial intelligence.
I love it. Anyways, and they're not happy with their services. So they're getting new clients that way. With some of the older leads that we have, the newer leads, you get everything, and a lot of people here, and most of the people in the 11 o'clock group get the leads. It is a monthly report on an Excel spreadsheet, and you get everything from where they're opening to their phase of construction, to the owner's names, phone numbers, email addresses. And sometimes people will say, well, all you are giving me is info at. Well, yeah, but a lot of times that goes to the owner. But a lot of them lately, we've been managing to get the actual owner's email through another avenue that we have found. So the crew is great. And so we're getting more and more personal emails, but the info if it's a smaller place, it will go to the owner, just to let people know many times. Not all the time, but many times. So if you want a sample, go to trnusa.com/leads. That will open up an actual sample report. Then you can email me or call for your price, not what's online that the companies pay for being in the group. And that's Terry at trnusa.com. Have a really good weekend. If you have kids, if you have a family, spring break. We have 2 granddaughters flying in to spend it on Fort Lauderdale Beach, Hollywood Beach. However, it's supposed to rain next week, so we may be doing indoor stuff. Have a good weekend.
Okay. Anybody else? Well, in the other group at 11 o'clock, we have a thing that started. It's called wants and needs. If anybody has a want or a need that they want to bring up to the group, now's a good time to do it. Brian, you had mentioned something during the week that you wanted to say.
I forgot. It's been a long week.
Brian wants to remember.
Yeah, Brian.
I can't remember. What was it, Howard? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Well, look, just go to wants and needs and think about Kenny Rogers with his song Ruby, Don't Take Your Love to Town. Anybody that song with the wants and needs in the line? He understands the wants and the needs of a woman her age. Anybody remember that? Every time Howard brings up a phase or a word, for me it's a song. So can't go on Name That Tune anymore because they're out of business, but was going to. Go ahead. Wants and needs, anything that anybody is specifically looking for that somebody in this group or somebody in the 11 o'clock group can help you with.
Oh, I want to bring something up. I want to bring this up for discussion at a vote or your ideas. I belong to another group that meets on Wednesday morning. So does Rick, and so does Brian. And somebody mentioned something there, and it sort of spurred, and I'm going to copy the idea. What do you guys? Well, of course, you understand that we're trying to grow this group. Steve, as I mentioned before, Steve Fuentes dropped out because he got additional responsibilities at his company, and we wish him well for that. So we're looking for a business broker as well as other categories that this group can use. And one way is to have everybody in the group mention it to people that they know to bring people in. Steve Geller from the 11 o'clock group was at the New York show this week, and he connected me with several different people, and two of them are coming to the meeting this morning. So that was great. But what I'm trying to come up with is an idea for this group. So I'm thinking about holding a quote unquote open house to come to this meeting. And I can call it an open house or a casting call, if you want to call it, where people can come to the group, irregardless of whether there's a member here or not. If they are a conflicting member to you, obviously they will not get membership, but they can get on a waiting list. But this might stir some activity to bring people in if we package it as an open house, and I can promote it. What do you think of that?
Good.
Fine.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. More the better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if I have an open house, it's open. In other words, someone who does insurance might sign up. I might stop them at the beginning, let them know that Nick's here and Rick is here.
You're talking a one-time meeting, though, right?
A one-time meeting, right?
Yeah. I don't care if some other insurance people come. If it, just encourages involvement in this group or another group, if we're related or not, it could be. There's so many parts, of insurance. Like Rick and I could coexist. I don't do what he does. He doesn't do what I do. We can refer to each other. We can reciprocate. So
Right.
yeah, it's all good. If you get a personal lines person that does homes and autos and stuff, we do it, but it's not my thing. But I'd love to see more people. That's a good idea, Howard.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm going
The
to
11
put that
o'clock
into
group.
effect next week. I had a topic that I wanted to discuss, but there's really not enough time. So I'll tell you what the topic is, and next week we can discuss it. I was thinking that this time of year, a lot of restaurants start breaking out their outdoor dining options. So how do you set up a good seating area outdoors for restaurants? But then I thought about it after the events of yesterday, when some of these crazies are driving trucks into buildings and onto sidewalks, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a twofold question. How do you set up outdoor seating and still keep security in mind?
That's a question for a whole 1 hour
Yes.
meeting. You know what? As a matter of fact, Howard, you know what I would suggest on something like that? I would take that topic to a multi-group for both the 9 and 11 o'clock and get everybody together, because I think that should be a topic that everybody talks about, not just the 9 o'clock group.
Yeah.
Because we're living in, since this all started back, I would say October 7th of 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago now. This has been a topic that I think we as Americans take it for granted that it can't happen here, but it can.
Yeah.
And so I think that I think that should be a whole topic for, a group.
Well, yeah, I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
But if I did that as a joint meeting, I'd like to bring somebody in who's a expert in either in the security field or in the seating. And as a matter of fact, this morning at 11 o'clock, I've got somebody new coming who's an interior designer who does design spaces like that. So perhaps we can use him.
Hey, Howard, who was the gentleman? Was it either our group or the Wednesday group? The gentleman that he's a former police officer and he does
Oh yeah,
security.
yeah.
I think he would be a good gentleman to bring in as a question.
Castellanos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Q&A with him. I think that would be a perfect subject for him.
Yeah, good idea.
Real quick, I know we got to go in a minute here, but I've noticed, you know, the downsides of quick service. For instance, like Chipotle is, not many seats anymore. But a lot of these quick service, like Taco Bell and everything, is putting outside seating. And I don't know. But I've seen a lot of that around where I'm at, outside seating versus coming into the restaurant. You come in, grab and go, or maybe a few seats there. But yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. We're
And
in,
it gets hot. Nobody wants to sit outside.
yeah.
Some people have those misters, and there is a company that does that, which I want to get in contact with for them to come to the meeting. They do the misters outside, like under the patio,
Mhm.
or and that's a good idea. But with the drought that Florida's having, um, you can start eating outside a little bit more. It's just, you know, I prefer not to eat outdoors watching cars go by and smelling the emissions gas coming out. So normally I won't take a seat outside. But what Howard is talking about also refers to like on Palmetto Park Road. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, but like a busy street where they have a ton of restaurants, even in West Palm. You're sitting right there, even inside of a glass window that faces the street. Any car can go right through that window, like right where you're sitting. You're inside. So that's a really good topic, Howard, and that should be addressed in all new building designs as well, in my opinion.
Well, one of the questions that I would bring up at that meeting, whether it was the responsibility of the restaurant or the landlord to put concrete barriers at the, things like that, like they do in front of a bank. They have
Yeah,
these
yeah,
concrete pillars. But anyway, you want to hear a quick story, then we can get out of here. When I was a restaurant equipment dealer in Manhattan, I had a customer who used to sell hamburgers, and his brother was a star of uh, the Waltons, and
Ralph Waite.
yeah, he. I was trying not to say the name. Thank you. And
Okay, I said it.
uh, he he had, it was a narrow store, like a half a bay deep, and he had a window, and he sold hamburgers out the window, and very successful on the Upper West Side. And he wanted to change the storefront. And this is back in the early 80s. This is before all this terrorist crap happened. And the city was giving him a hard time about getting a permit to do all the work, and it was slowing him up. So at 2 o'clock in the morning, he took his pickup truck and drove it through the front of the store and took off. So he had to change the front of the store the next morning. So this is not a new idea, but it's a horrible idea. Anyway, thank you all for coming. Thank you, Noah, for coming.
Yeah,
Thank you for having
it
me.
was very good. And just reach out to me if you need anything in Atlanta. Just you can reach out to me. I'm local.
Yeah, well, I'll reach out
Yeah.
to you on LinkedIn either today or tomorrow.
Okay.
Reach out to all y'all.
Hey,
Hey, Chris,
good.
Chris, are you going to be available later on today? I was going to give you a call.
Yeah.
Okay. I got to get this call. Everybody have a great weekend.
Okay.
Same to you.
Hey,
No,
See
I
you.
added you already on LinkedIn. Good job today.
Perfect.
yeah.
All right,
Hey,
there you
Nick.
go.
Congratulations. Well, how long have you been doing this?
X Shift, I started building it in about September, and I launched in about late November, early December.
Okay. Well, I wish you much success. You're very bright, and I think it's an awesome idea.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, guys.
Have a
We'll see
great
you
day,
next
everybody.
week.
Have a good week.
Thank you, Noah.
Let the sauce be
Thank
with you.
y'all.
Okay.